What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So we've got the 135 cubic inch road glide up here on the dyno, and we are ready to start tuning and testing to see just how good this SP Concepts big bore pipe is with the ProFlow headers. Right, guys, so if you're new to this channel, my name's Tommy and I'm a Harley Davidson master technician here at Darling Downs Harley in Toowoomba. I've been doing this for a long time. I frequently build big bore engines, do cam installs, do a lot of dyno tuning and all that sort of stuff. So if you like that sort of thing, check out the rest of my content, subscribe if you feel like it, and drop any comments and in all that sort of stuff in the comment section. But today, this is part 2 of this 135 build. So part 1, I'll link it in the description. Basically, we just went through a brief overview of the kit, some of the install process, and I touched on some of the components that you actually need to buy additionally on top of the kit, especially when doing it on a VVT bike. So this kit does delete the VVT, but you do need to buy a few additional components to successfully do that. But we're going to compare this one today. This is exactly the same combination as I did about 11 months ago, except the pipe is different. So we're talking the same kit, the same camshaft, the same tuning device, the only difference being the pipe. So this is going to be a really good test to see just how good this SP Concepts pipe is with the ProFlow headers. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so being that this is part 2, we've already done the engine build in part 1, but we're doing the Screamin Eagle OHLINS front forks. We've also done the remote res rear shocks as well on this thing, but we're just going to run through here and show you how easy these things are to fit. So front wheel comes out and we just loosen off the pinch bolts, slide out the OEM forks. Really straightforward stuff, guys. Just, you could do this at home yourself and just follow the basic table that they give you there to set these up as a base setting. But it's as simple as this, guys. Just front wheel out, the front fender off, front wheel out, slide them out of the triple clamps and slide the new ones in, do up the pinch bolt, set the height so they're even, do up the pinch bolts, reinstall the whole front end, and you are good to go. So shortly we're going to fire this thing up for the first time, check for any exhaust gas leaks, check for any oil leaks, things like that, before we get it onto the dyno. Keep banging on about this, but this Screamin Eagle tuner for this combination, if you were using the Screamin Eagle exhaust, this tune would be very, very, very close to what would be spot on. Does it unlock all the potential from the engine? Definitely not. But the tune, because the timing is limited, you just can't adjust, you can't put enough timing into it because it doesn't allow it, the software doesn't allow it. But the fueling VE model would be pretty well spot on if you're using the Screamin Eagle exhaust. Because I'm not, I need to remodel the VE table to remodel it, because this exhaust is going to flow differently from the Screamin Eagle one. Now, running through those tables there, we're trying to get as much data as possible. Now, because we're using a narrowband sensor on the bike, it's just seeing a lean or a rich event. It's not knowing how lean or how rich it is. So the ECM makes a pretty calculated guess. Well, if it sees a rich environment, it thinks, well, let's pull, say, 8% of fuel out. It will then suggest that change. You load that in, and then you run it again at the same cell point. You see, what, is it lean or is it rich? Oh, it's actually pretty close now. Right, that cell's good, we move on. So that's why we gather as much data as possible throughout the entire tune. Now with wideband sensors, of course, we see exactly how lean or exactly how rich it is. So we log all that data. We can do it in real time, depending on the software and the ECM impact. You can do it as you're riding. It's very fast, it's very good. But Power Vision stuff, we can log it all, data log it all, see exactly how lean or rich it is using the Dyno widebands, and then suggest the changes, and it's pretty well spot on. So it's a lot faster, it's a lot more accurate, and of course some of those aftermarket devices have obviously more capability to call for more fuel, call for more timing, all that sort of thing, adjustments in everything else. This Screamin Eagle one is pretty limited, but again, for 150 horsepower bolt-in kit with a factory warranty is pretty good from Harley Davidson. So guys, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do this process a couple more times just to build that VE table up where it counts, and then we're going to move on to the wide open stuff and do a run and see just how much power this thing will make. Alright guys, so a couple of wide open runs done there. Now we've got a bit to do on this tune here. You can see the wide open stuff. Pretty repeatable here, 153 horsepower, 157 foot-pounds of torque. So I'll turn this around. Alright, so that's it. Now I'm just going to point out the obvious here. That is spot on. So from 4.5 on, that is pretty spot on. I might lean that off just a little bit. To me, that's probably just a fraction rich. 12.5, 12.7. I mean, I might pull a little bit of fuel. It's definitely pretty rich on the rear there at 12.3. I'll probably pull a few points of fuel out. That may make a little bit more power, but here we are very, very rich in the mid-range. So you can see that reflected if I bring this up as a single graph. So that sag in the torque curve is definitely related to this huge amount of fuel in there. So I'm going to pull some fuel out, and that should lift this sag out. And if we can get enough fuel in here, you can see how lean it is here at the hit, due to the pipe, definitely. If we can get enough fuel in down there, that will lift this up and bring that. So this hopefully should just have a nice big mound across here, hopefully. So we're definitely going to make more power through the mid-range here once we lean that off there and there on the rear, front and rear. And we might just pull a little bit of fuel out here. I mean, to be honest, from there on, that is pretty spot on. I wouldn't, that's generally how I would tune this. I will muck around and see if I can find a bit of power by leaning it off, but that's safe as houses. This is definitely too rich though. So I'm going to go ahead and lean that off and put as much fuel as the VE table will let me in there, and we'll see what happens. Righto guys, here we are. 154 horsepower, and 158.8 foot-pounds of torque. So let's see how that compares. I mean, there wasn't much I could do. I mean, I pulled as much fuel out and added as much fuel as I could in the areas I did, and that's what we came up with. So I'm going to go over here. Now, I'm also going to compare SAE and STD for everyone, because I know we all like to compare that and talk about that. So we're going to do that. But what we're going to do right here is go over and look at our, where are we here? This one. So this was the 135. So this is the other one I did. This is the one we're comparing it to. So this was the 135 kit with the SP Concepts 2-in-1. Now you can see here we've got air filter on and air filter off, because obviously it had a slightly different air filter. So we did with the air filter on. This one made 149 and 152. Now you can see this pipe's definitely carried much. The torque curve looks much the same, but you can see where the torque has increased everywhere. So I dare say that those Pro Flow headers are definitely helping that out. Now let's have a look at with the filter off. $156 and 155. So these Pro Flow headers are definitely helping this out. There's no doubt about it. So our little reversion chambers or expansion chambers or whatever you want to call them, they are definitely helping that out, because this one with the filter on, still did this one with the filter on, it has the extreme wedge. So even with that on, although that one with the filter off made just that little bit more peak power, you can see it's actually due to this little lump in it, so it's not a quite accurate representation of the overall power. But if we just look at air filter off versus what this one did, you can see the Pro Flow headers have outperformed that other pipe everywhere. It's a much smoother looking graph, if I'm honest. It's not so, you can see there's a bit going on there, but that's what it did with this pipe, and that's what it did with that pipe. So the tune is as identical as possible. I'm going to show you guys, actually we'll do the correction factor for everyone. SAE, so watch our numbers, there they are. No trickery here, I'm just going to hit apply. So 154 and 158 turns into 151 and 156. So guys, I'm really happy with that. I mean, I definitely am surprised at just how much it's lifted it up. Everybody have a look at this here at the hit, 2,500. The other one was 132 with the Pro Flow headers, we're 139. You can see it's just lifted it up everywhere, and it's a much smoother looking graph. So very, very happy with that. So there's a look at the final fuel. You can see everything from about 4.5 onwards is absolutely spot on, very, very safe. Still really rich between 2,700 and 4,000. Needs a lot of fuel taken out, but I've taken out every bit of fuel that I can. So look through this one. So that there, I cannot pull any more fuel out of there. That's it. Like, it will not, watch this, decrease. I'm going to tap that. There's no more adjustment available. So if we were able to pull more fuel out of there, I guarantee it would lift this up. This would look a lot better as a single graph here. It would generally track straight through there, no doubt about it. It would just sort of roll straight through there. So that is just a product of the fuel. I did try and have a look and see if I could trick it with a few things, but there's just nothing you can do in here. You know, you can't change the air fuel target. You can't change injector size. You can only remove and add so much VE volume. That's all we can do. Guys, I just want to point out too, these Pro Flow headers would have even more benefits on a camshaft that has more exhaust duration, because that's when you're really going to amplify the benefits of those headers. There's no doubt about it. I was, surprised. Well, I knew that they were going to work. There's no doubt about it. But it's really good to see on the graph how it's smoothed out and lifted the torque and power everywhere from across the entire rev range. But for the meantime, guys, let's see if we can get Warwick on camera, get him to take this thing for a test ride and see what he thinks of it. So Warwick's just gone for a test ride. He's seen the bike. He's pretty stoked with how it looks and sounds. He's gone for a test ride now, so we're going to get his reaction as soon as he comes back, and see what he thinks. What do you think of that, mate? Is any good?
That is awesome.
That's awesome, mate.
Everything I'd hoped for.
Excellent, excellent. What do you think? Did it frighten you? Was it more than you expected, less than you expected? What did you think?
I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But it's fucking awesome.
That's awesome, mate. Well done.
Great job. Thank you, Tommy.
No worries, mate. Well, thank you for coming. I mean, it's a huge trip to come up from Canberra all the way here, so I really appreciate it. I know all the staff here appreciate it, so thanks for making the effort to come and see us. I mean, it looks $1 million. Like,
oh, it does.
Those forks, those little tiny bits and pieces, those gold screws in the brakes, it just really ties together beautifully, I think.
Yeah.
That pipe's, I can't believe how much it's changed colour. Good birthday present, right? It's Warwick's birthday today, guys. So happy birthday to Warwick, and what a good way to spend your birthday, right? 150 plus horsepower CVO road glide. Excellent. That's a genuine smile. That is a genuine smile.
I'll be grinning for weeks.
Excellent, excellent. Well, there you go, guys. I'm pretty sure Warwick is happy with the result there. I know I am. The thing came together very, very well. I love the way that thing looks. Those gold accents, all those accessories with that copper head color, I think it just suits it really, really well. So great result on this one. It's good to see that pipe worked a little better than the other one. Same brand, just with the ProFlow headers. So it was good to see that worked. And again, with the Screamin Eagle tuner, I know that there are better options out there, believe me, but as a complete package, I think it works really, really well. I mean, there is no issues whatsoever with running that Screamin Eagle tuner with that complete Screamin Eagle kit. Even if you wanted to switch out to a different exhaust, it does seem to still work enough. The tune's definitely rich enough, that's safe enough to use, and I would be more than happy to recommend it to anyone using that kit completely. If you are to change the camshaft, of course, there's no way in the world that tune is going to work at all, because the airflow modeling is designed around the characteristics of that SE550 cam. So yeah, as a complete kit, it's fine, but you want to change it out and really lean on it and make some power. Obviously, we need to go to an Impact or a Power Vision, but my advice would be go to an Impact, because you get far more control, far more data logging capability, and you can really just you've got the benefits of the wideband sensors. There's so much there. You've got the clutchless upshift, clutchless downshift, launch control. I mean, there is so much involved in that thing that you can do a lot with. So that would be my recommendation for anyone moving forward, wanting to do really big bore builds. Definitely use the Impact ECM. Well, guys, that wraps up this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.